A lifetime in repeat.
In 1926, Antonio Cavalieri Ducati and his three sons Adriano, Marcello and Bruno Cavalieri founded Società Scientifica Radio Brevetta Ducati in Bologna to produce vacuum tubes, condensers and other radio components. In 1935, they had become successful enough to enable construction of a new factory in the Borgo Panigale area of the city. Production was maintained during World War II, despite the Ducati factory being a repeated target of Allied bombing. Meanwhile, at the small Turinese firm Ciata, Aldo Farinelli began developing a small pushrod engine for mounting on bicycles. In the 1960s, Ducati earned its place in motorcycling history by producing the fastest 250cc road bike then available, the Mach 1. The Mach 1 was powered by a 4-stroke single-cylinder engine that was able to produce 25 horsepower at 8500 revolutions per minute, supplied with contact breaker ignition, with a single Delordo SS29 carburetor, 5 gears, wet clutch, with a dry weight of 116 kilograms. Check it out. In the 1970s, Ducati began producing large displacement V-twin motorcycles and in 1973 released a V-twin with the trademark dismodromic valve design. In 1985, Cagiva bought Ducati and planned to rebadge Ducati motorcycles with the Cagiva name. By the time the purchase was completed, Cagiva kept the Ducati name for its motorcycles. However, 11 years later, in 1996, Cagiva accepted the offer from Texas Pacific Group and sold a 51% stake in the company for $325 million. Following this, in 1998, Texas Pacific Group bought most of the remaining 49% to become the sole owner of Ducati. In 1999, this group issued an initial public offering of Ducati stock and renamed the company Ducati Motor Holding S.p.A. TPG sold over 65% of its shares in Ducati, leaving this group the majority shareholder. As to motorcycle designing, Ducati is best known for high-performance motorcycles characterized by large-capacity 4-stroke 90-degree V-twin engines with a dismodromic valve design. Ducati refers to this configuration as L-twin because one cylinder is vertical while the other is horizontal, making it look like a letter L. Modern Ducatis remain amongst the dominant performance motorcycles available today, partly because of the dismodromic valve design, which is around for about 50 years so far. Dismodromic valves are closed with a separate dedicated cam lobe and a lifter instead of the conventional valve springs used in most internal combustion engines in consumer vehicles. This allows the cams to have a more radical profile, thus opening and closing the valves more quickly without the risk of valve load, which causes a loss of power that is highly probable when using a passive closing mechanism under the same conditions. While most other manufacturers use wet clutches, that is with the spinning parts bathed in oil, Ducati previously used multiple dry clutches in many of their motorcycles. The dry clutch eliminates the power loss from oil viscosity drag on the engine, even though the engagement might not be as smooth as the oil bath versions, but the clutch plates can be replaced more rapidly. Today Ducati has converted to wet clutches across their current product lines. Ducati also extensively uses a trellis frame, albeit Ducati's MotoGP project broke out with this tradition by introducing a revolutionary carbon fiber frame for the Ducati Dismessidici GP9. Now, one of those high-performance motorcycles is Ducati 1299, which I'd like to talk about today in particular. It started with Panigale 1199, that was a cutting-edge machine built in order to substitute previous Ducati 1098. Designed completely from scratch, this Madromica Super Quattro engine was capable of 196 horsepower at 11,000 rpm and 127 nm torque at 8,500 revolutions per minute. 3 years later, the 1299 Panigale boasts a range of modifications regarding power output and handling. It is now capable of 205 horsepower at 10,500 rpm and a maximum torque of 145 nm. Remastered torque distribution favored acceleration, making it more amicable, so to speak. Rider control was augmented by updating an electronic system based on an inertial platform. Other minor modifications include a raised windshield that provides a better wind resistance, and the seat has been replaced with a more comfortable model. The 1299 wheelbase remains the same at 1437 mm. The base version retains front forks by Marzocchi and Sachs shock absorber. The S variant has new semi-active Erlins Smart EC suspension that can be switched between different driving modes to match road conditions. In November 2016, Ducati began selling the 1299 Superleggera, that is Italian for Superlight, in a limited run of 500 units. It succeeded the original 1199 Superleggera of 2014, which reduced weight by having a Monaco composite carbon fiber chassis, magnesium engine casings, titanium fasteners, and exhaust system. Ducati claimed the 1299 had a wet weight of 167 kg and 1285cc engine with output of 215 horsepower. That's it from me today. If you want to see more of my videos, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Now enjoy the footage of Ducati 1299 shredding the track.